At 46 years, if this is going to be the result, they're okay with that every 40 or so years. Peter Gammons, Howard Reynolds, John Kruk, I'm Carl Ravitch. Roger Clemens was rested. Everything was set for him. Cardinals were eliminated by the Astros in 6 games, which meant the Rocket didn't have to pitch Game 7. He'd get the nod for Houston. It'd be Contreras getting the nod for Chicago. Some discussion about Burley, but go with a guy that's been so good the second half. Biggio waited 18 years, and he's retired in his first World Series at bat. Clemens, die, ding dong.
Well, this is a great at bat. He was down 0-2, fouled off 3 splits, and got the 3-2 and hit the homer.
1-0. Perzinski, the cheerleader for Chicago. The opposite in the other dugout is the pitcher. Meantime, Mike Lamb's solo shot to center tied this game up at 1 apiece. That's
one of the reasons they wanted Lamb to be in the lineup was because of the power. Swinging the bat great. And there's the other cheerleader.
Brandon back. Bottom 2, men at the corners, no outs. A.J. Perzinski, Clemens, a little bit of a hole here. Did he get a double play ball? Home, no, second, only get 1, and Everett comes in.
Great base running by Carl Everett right there. As soon as the first baseman turns to throw to first base, to second base, I should say, that's when you take off. He could have ran at him. He elected to go to second. No play at all, home plate.
Later in the inning, you figure you get out with 1 run, maybe okay, but Uribe, Peter, his team is so deep.
It is. I mean, to have a 9th hitter like Uribe who has power, he has speed. Pretty good.
3-1 White Sox, end of the inning. Clemens walks all the way into the clubhouse. He wouldn't come back. Strained left hamstring. Much more on that on this edition of SportsCenter. 3rd inning. 2 on. Look at Lance off Contreras. Wow, you figured Jose had a lead?
I tell you why, that's a great piece of hitting right there. He struck him out in the 1st inning on that same pitch looking. Ozzie went out to the mound, told him pitch around him. Berkman was looking for the split and got it.
Wandy Rodriguez doing his best Irvin Santana imitation, but that one leaves. Taveras gave it everything he had. Joe Creedy's shot makes it 4-3. He's been the hottest hitter on Chicago, even though they haven't played for a week. Rodriguez intentionally walks Rowan, loads him up for Perzinski. Double play ball was a big help for both teams.
Well, it really was, Carl. I thought at this point in time, the Astros come back. That was the biggest move of the game.
2 best plays I've seen this, the 2 Astros double plays.
No question. Everett in the middle of both of them. Meantime, Ensberg, what a play by Joe Creedy. He was Mr. Steady at 3rd base.
Tell you what, Brooks Robinson, Greg Nettles move over. We got a new one, Joe Creedy.
Next batter, Mike Lamb. Inning is over, so they can't do any more damage against 5-2. 7th inning, 1st and 3rd, 2 outs. Come on, Biggio. Not here because it's the glove at 3rd. Creedy, another diving stop.
Huge plays.
8th inning, Willie Taveras leading off. Remember, it's only a 1-1 game. Couple of times Taveras led off innings with doubles. They couldn't get him in the first time. Would they be able to get him in this time?
Well, he brings so much to that ball club. You know, it was interesting when they benched him earlier. He was 10 for 28 at the time.
Oh, my goodness. There is a bullpen. First appearance in 43 innings. Berkman single, 1st and 3rd.
They had to oil up that gate to get him out. That thing was rusted.
Kotz, done. Lamb, done. Kotz, thank you very much. Ozzie Guillen hugs everybody. He was hugging Astro players before the game. Now he wants the big barrel. They bring in Jenks. Bagpipe staring at things at triple digits. Woo! Like a 99 moving slider fastball. Forget it. The adventure in the 8th against Russ Springer. Ooh, that's high and it's hard. It's not history, but it is a triple for Pasednik. Perzinski's in. Insurance, please.
Huge insurance.
5-3. 9th, 2 outs. Jenks. Adam Everett.
Apparently you didn't see the way Jenks pitched the 8th inning. They didn't need much insurance.
They all brought White Sox, and they were waving them wildly all game long. Bobby Jenks, Ozzie Guillen, Perzinski, and the rest of the White Sox on their home field. And they were a dynamite road team, but on their home field, they were very good as well, and they are here. 10 hits for the White Sox. Only Iguchi doesn't get 1. Contreras is now 1-0. 3 earned runs. The Wizard of Oz on that yellow brick road, which leads to the bullpen.
Those 2 kids, they're huge for us. You know, especially Kotz. Kotz was here for us all year long, and Jenks come late in the season, and he did a tremendous job.
For me, it was very exciting facing Bagwell. Going off of the scouting report, you know, no 0-2 counts. He chases, you know, fastballs up above the zone, so that's what I was trying to do. You know, just sticking to, you know, what I do best and going with my strengths against his weakness.
I'm just looking fastball at that particular time. I'm sure if he threw me a curveball and it was a strike, I would have buckled my knees and not had a chance, but I don't think at that particular time he was going to worry about that.
All right, folks, something good is happening. That bullpen has been ridiculous. The LDS, remember El Duque came in against the Red Sox and was outstanding. They've got 10 Ks and no runs allowed, and there was so much concern about the rest and if they'd be rusty, and simulated games don't really give you a feel for real games. Well, Bagwell has played in real games, and he had no feel for 100 miles an hour. You can understand how you can't hit that. How come they couldn't hit Kotz?
Same reason. Maybe not as hard, but he went with the fastball. The breaking ball is the pitch that you worry about over a long period of time. But when you throw hard and you can dominate with the fastball, then you got a chance, and that's exactly what Kotz did. He gave up the base hit to Berkman on a breaking ball, and he had himself in a first and third situation. He went after Ensberg, and right here he put him away with a high fastball, said here it is. He hides the ball, tremendous. Watch how he gets the ball behind his back leg. He's picked it up at the last second. He's got what you might call in baseball a short arm. It gets on you in a hurry, and right here he just comes after Lamb and says, here it is, I dare you to hit me. And he challenged with the fastball, and then they brought in some serious heat.
He brought in the big boy right there, and I tell you what, you listen to his press conference, he says, I was going over the scattering report. Scattering report is 100 miles an hour. First ball, fastball hitter, don't matter. Throw 100, you get him out. And that's what he did to Bagwell right there. And you heard Bagwell say, if he throws me a curveball, it buckles him. He throws me a curveball, I'm going into shock. He's throwing 100, throw 100, get him out of there.
We do a Web Gem Award show. He is a leading candidate for the John Kruk Award next year.
Next year, he's dialed in.
Already.
Dialed in.
How did they get him?
Well, I mean, Bobby Jenks was, believe it or not, he was a great prospect in the Angels organization, but he had some personal problems. He got hurt. So last year, they put him on waivers. Kenny Williams claimed him on waivers. How we put this in? I mean, Creedy, Rowland, and Burley, the only three guys that came out of the White Sox organization. I mean, Kotz came, he traded Keith Folk to get Billy Koch, but he got Kotz as a minor league throw-in the deal. I mean, they built this team brilliantly, and to get a guy on waivers that throws 100 miles an hour and get a minor league throw-in who is a power left-handed setup guy, pretty good.
All right, I'm going to tell you what, it puts an awful lot of pressure on Andy Pettitte, who'll get to start Sunday in Game 2 against the guy that has been nearly lights out like Contreras, and that's Mark Burley. We'll talk much more about Game 2 later on SportsCenter, and also look at the impact that Roger Clemens had on this game and whether he'll have an impact on this series again. A late update on his injury when we come back. Rejoined by Peter Gammons, Hal Reynolds, and John Kruk. He tried his darndest to get back out there, but it just wouldn't go, and this is what Rocket had to say before he left the field.
I had the problem in the second inning and fought my way through that inning, got through that inning, came up here and as quick as I could to take my sleeve off and have them check it and see if there's anything to do so I could continue. And the fluid already started to build up in the in my leg. So they gave me some medication, and I'm going to treat it, and that's really all I can tell you from there.
It stinks. I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, you got an injury, and hopefully it's not all that bad, and yeah, we can stretch this thing out and come back and have him come out here and pitch again for us. So
it stinks to have one of the greatest pitchers ever and not be able to use him, but at the same time, it's not a one-man show. We got 4 other pitchers that can go out there and capable of winning a ball game.
It's obviously a concern. I mean, and obviously, I don't want to see Rock hurt, and that's not good for us. But, he's had a hamstring problem for a while, and those, sometimes those things happen.
Well, Bagwell's right. You look at his resume when it comes to shortest outings in the postseason. In that 90 ALCS game, he was thrown out of this one, and then there was the World Series in this game, and in 1999 he lasted 2 innings. Just a remarkable effort by both teams, especially when you consider Houston was down and out. All the boys, Peter Gammons, Hal Reynolds, John Kruk, here to provide the insights and the analysis. Let's go over it because we didn't know we were going to start this game on time. Rained all afternoon on Sunday. There was no delay, but they did put the tarp on the field, and that caused some problems. Well, once the game got going, fans settled in. Another sellout crowd of 41,000 plus. Mark Burley, he gets the start. So good at home. 10-2. Had a couple in the postseason, and early on, say so long to Lance Berkman. Pretty good strike zone for both Burley and Andy Pettitte, who's second all-time when it comes to postseason wins. He's got 14 of those, and you know the cutter's going to be working. Will the White Sox score in the first inning? No, they would not. That's an upset in itself.
Well, Carl, absolutely, and the thing that set that up is Andy was throwing a cutter in, but he was able to locate that ball in the outside half, and that's why he was able to get the hitters out early.
John Kruk said early Sunday morning on SportsCenter, one of the key players of the game had to be Ensberg, and he jumped him.
Someone has to help Lance Berkman drive in runs in this lineup. Morgan Ensberg's the guy who had to get hot, and he gave him a good start.
Meantime, does Chicago do damage of its own in the second? How good has Joe Creedy been? A little bleeder down the right field line. That allows Aaron Rowan to score. First and third, 1-1 game. Uribe. Pettitte gets him to pop this one up. Biggio's under it. Biggio drops the ball.
One of those plays, just he missed it. That's all you can say about it.
One of the themes for the White Sox, given opportunities, they take advantage of them. It's 2-2 in the fifth inning. Berkman hits a rope down the line and left. Lance Berkman is an RBI seemingly every time he gets up.
And they're going to figure out how to get him out. And like Crucky talked about with Ensberg, that's maybe going to get him some pitches, but Berkman's been absolutely outstanding.
2-run score in the play, no error on Posedic in left, 4-2 Houston. Pettitte, fifth inning. He's got it, and instead of having this one thrown away, he throws it once.
Well, fundamental play. You run at the runner till you can freeze him and force him to make a commitment, and Andy has done that many a time.
Couple of base running miscues for the White Sox nearly cost him. Pettitte picks off another one. He was seventh during the regular season when it came to number of picks off. Iguchi stunned out of the inning. Go to the seventh now. We're into the bullpen. This is one of those phantom plays, and believe it or not, A.J. Przinsky not involved. Did it hit Dye or did it hit the bat?
It looked like it. It looked like when we first saw it live, it looked like it hit Jermaine Dye in the hand, but upon further review, Carl, looked like it hit the barrel of the bat.
Bases loaded. Reliever out. Next in. Loaded. Konerko. Qualls to the walls and over the wall. Grand slam for Paul Konerko.
So much for our theory that they can't hit fastballs. That was a 92-mile-an-hour heater.
Well, they got the Wheeler, and then this ball by Konerko off Qualls. And you thought the Houston bullpen would shut them down. They didn't.
He did not have the ball down the way he did against the Cardinals.
Let's go to the ninth inning when it goes nuts. Bobby Jenks and Neil Kotz in game one, lights out. Vizcaíno, the hero of that 2000 World Series Mets-Yankees, delivers again, and what a good throw. Burke Speed beats it.
What a great baseball play. I mean, Vizcaíno hits a tough pitch. Burke makes a tremendous slide, Bucky, and he's in.
It's an unbelievable slide. And if the throw was more on the line of home plate, Burke is out because you know AJ's going to block the plate. Up the first base line a little bit. Slides in safe.
Good throw, close play. Great throw, he's out. But bottom nine, look out below. Brad Lidge comes in. The first appearance he's made since the Pujols home run. And would you believe it? Scott Posednik, who had no home runs during the regular season, did hit 12 last year, but he's now got 2 in the postseason and none in his career bigger than that one.
A walk-off homer in the series. And nobody happier than Bobby Jenks.
You're right about that. First World Series walk-off win in White Sox history.
I think Posednik might be a little more happy than Jenks.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Remarkable game, folks. 7-6, the Chicago White Sox, after seeing their bullpen blow it, get a victory. The win goes to Neil Kotz, who now in a couple of games has been outstanding. The loss, shockingly, goes to Brad Lidge.
This one came at a good time. I recall standing out in left field after Paulie did what he did, thinking about, man, what does that man feel like right now? You know, to get us into that position to get us ahead at that point, and you know, so to go out and hit one out of the ballpark for a game winner is pretty much indescribable.
He's not a home run hitter, obviously, so that was I just wasn't expecting that, and he did a great job. A lot of credit to him, and unfortunately, it wasn't a great night to be a bullpen guy, you know, late in the game for either of us, and you know, that happens to be the last one, and that's unfortunate.
Well, I make sure the pilots lock the doors down on the plane so anybody can't jump out. But you know, hey, we've bounced back all year. We're in a tough situation right now. It's just not a great situation, but we're all ready and raring to go. Get back to our ballpark.
You're surprised because the 2 home run coming up in the postseason, and I think, believe me, I think And you can ask Pod right now, what's the biggest hit he ever had in his life? He's going to tell you today, the home run.
What made that big hit happen was his approach. As a leadoff hitter with one out, you want to get on base. And this was the indication of that. 2-0, he takes a fastball right down the middle. Right here, he just put a great swing on the baseball. He's just trying to drive the ball in the gap, get on base, and do anything he can to extend that rally. His job is to get on. Remember, he's a great base stealer. If he gets on, Lidge's got a high kick, he's looking to steal. He got a fastball, drove it out of the ballpark. Great piece of hitting, but I loved his approach as a leadoff guy in that situation, trying to get on base.
All right, boys, a lot more to do, much more. We'll talk about the guy that gave up the home run. We'll talk more about the Pasednik shot. Ken Nierko and John Kruk breaks down how the White Sox nearly gave one away, and yet were able to take advantage enough of their opportunities.